Hello everyone. Today in this video I'm gonna teach you about the three specialized agency of the United Nations. In our previous video, from there you already get an idea about the introduction of the UNO, evaluation of the UNO, and here we have to know and the principal organs of the UNO. In this module, we have to discuss about the three specialized agencies of the United Nations. That is the part 1. Basically, in your book, there are some agencies are given in according to the previous year's syllabus, and 3 more new one will be added in that. Among that 6 or 7 agencies, today in this module we have to discuss. Here you will know about the new that is which is included in 2000 and 2001 syllabus. We have to know that 3 main special agencies of the United Nations. So let's start with our module by analyzing that what are that special agencies, their objectives, their foundations, and to know little bit about their logo. The first one is ILU. So what is ILU? That first we have to know about the introduction. ILU stands for the International Labour Organization. So it's basically the foundation which take care about the issues of the labor group. It was founded in 1919 in October as an autonomous partner of the League of Nations. Means it was created or it was established after the diminish of the National League of Nations and after the UN establishment World War II. Its headquarter, we get its headquarter in Geneva, which is situated in Switzerland, and its secretariat is known as International Labour. So this a little bit introduction we have to know about the introduction we have to know about the IL. That means what it stands for, when it was established, where is the headquarter we have, and the head of the in this organization. Now let's see that what's its logo define. So if you see that this portion is represent as the olive, it's also is known as the wreath of the olive, which is olive leaves you can say. So this basically representing the UN, and this 3, it is a cogwheel which divided into 3 parts, and it symbolizes the world of work and the organization tripartite structure. So basically this structure is known as the ILO, that is International Labour Organization, which ironic the olive leaves which indicates the UN, and under that we have a 3-parted cogwheel which represent the world of work and the organization tripartite structure. So this all about the UN ILO, that is the logo. Now we have to know about what are the objectives. The first main objectives is it aims to promote efficient condition of social justice. Means it's basically are working that nobody of the in the labor group they are somehow tortured, or they are not getting or they are violated among their fundamental rights, or they are not getting any kind of justice. So basically the main objective of this ILO is to promoting the efficient condition of social justice, so that the labor group will work in a proper way and they are somehow getting the justice if something wrong will be happen. It also raised the standard of the workers who are living in a minimum, this organization are take care that minimum amount of standard of living will they get as a worker, live in a worker group. It also provided the social security, so that no women or children they or any men also they are exploited or they are harassed or during the time of their working conditions. So for that reason it's also providing the social security, so that no one will be dominated the labor group people. It also tried to its main objectives also one of that it improving the working condition, because it's not possible that if you are creating that kind of suffocating unhealthy kind of atmosphere, and there if you wanted that the worker will be work, and that's not possible, that is an inhumanitarian ground. So for that reason the ILO also observed whatever the industrial workers or any field workers or anywhere, they at least work in a proper way of improving types of condition. Special attention to the problems of women and children. See, we all know that during the in the workplaces or in any other conditions of the work, mainly the women and children are exploited. See, for that reason the ban of the child laborers are totally banned and abolited, and the women's trafficking is also some kind of abolition over there. So this is take care by the ILO that all the women and the children, those who are work in a place, they are secured, their protections, they are not harassed and exploited by anyone, and they are doing in a proper secured places and in a good condition. They also take the initiative for women and male workers to engage in the productive work. They take care that the people, those who are working, especially if it's a woman and male, whatever the work they at least engage in the productive work. They are not engaged in any illegal work. They are not engaged in any kind of work which is give a harmful effect on them. So it is a duty of, or it is the objective or focus of ILO that they concentrate on the work which is give a productiveness, which create a productive work, and all the people should engage on only a productive work. And the last one is the fabrication of the labor laws and regulation. That means ILO always take care of that all the labor groups are working under the labor laws and regulation. No one will be violating that, and no one will be violating the laws and regulations which is made for the labor by any government or by any upper authority, so that the labor group will not be dominated, and they can easily with a good standard of life and with a security and with a proper working condition, they can do their work and live their life properly. So within this only you have to know in your syllabus, because in your CBSE this year is updated only to know about the introduction and little bit descriptions about the special agencies, that you have to know establishment, headquarters, and what are their objectives. So this is the objectives of ILO. Next what we have to know that UNESCO. I hope this word UNESCO, this you all have an idea about this term, that is UNESCO. First we talk about the flag which we have seen. UNESCO. So you have seen this, the first, second and third line over here, and one kind of temple it is. So you from this the flag is indicating that it's one of the official symbol of the institutions, and the format consists of the white organization embelled on the blue ground. So you have seen this white embell which is portrayed in the blue background, and this is the color, official color of the United Nations, that is white and blue. And this embell it is a World Heritage embell, represents the independency of the world's natural and cultural diversity. So basically these flags are representing the world heritage which represent here by dividing the three pillars and interdependence of the world's natural and cultural diversities. Now we have to know a little bit about the introduction. UNESCO stand for the full form of the UNESCO is the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organizations. So please keep it in mind and all the full forms of this agency, because maybe as a MCQs or correcting the sentence or for 1 marks it may become maybe the board can ask you about the full form of these agencies or organizations. It was established on the 4th November 1946, and its headquarters, in Paris, that is France. Its head is known as the Director General. Its specialized agency, it is one of the important agency, or you can say one of the specialized agency of the United Nations. Every year one conference will be held, and in that conference each member of UNESCO, they have sent up to their 5 delegates, their 5 representatives, but every state, every members country, they have only one vote. So they are sending 5 representatives, but that 5 representatives is equal to 1 vote only. Now we have to know about the objectives. The first and the main purpose of the UNESCO is to it was made previously, it was made to fulfilling its purpose. And what's that purpose? The purpose is to contributing peace and security by promoting collaboration among the nation through education, science and culture. So the UNESCO's main objectives, the main purpose to make this kind of agency is to take care of that in the education, but through the education, science and culture, it can create peace and security in the all over the nations, and they can collaborate each and every nation through the path of education, through the part of science, through the part of culture. For that reason, it promoted, we can say the objectives of the UNESCO is to promoting education, is to promoting natural science, is to promoting the society and anthropology, it's to promoting the cultural and communication among all the nations. It also promoted the literacy, technical and educational training, independent media among its member nation. That means UNESCO, all kind of basic education which is given throughout the nation, that is given or that is provided by the UNESCO. It also help us by the technical education. It also helping us all the teachers by giving the training, so that all the teachers or all the educationalists, they will providing a better education to adult and children both through some kinds of training. It also give an independent media among its communication system, so that all the members of the nation, they can communicate with each other and they can share their educational perspectives, their cultural perspectives, they can share their knowledge about the science and different kinds of communications, cultures, different types of things. So basically the UNESCO take care about the promotion of the literacy, promotion of science, cultural communications, and try to create a peaceful and contributing peace and security by spreading through the education, science and culture. It's also try to help members in the presentation and protection of their culture. If any particular nation, they wanted to protect their culture, then it can take a help from the UNESCO, and UNESCO will giving to helping that nation by giving some kind of contributions or some kind of procedures, rules or suggestions, informations so that they can represent or they can protect their own culture in front of the world. So this is about the UNESCO. Now we have to know about the UNICEF. See, in the UNICEF, you all see here you see here, these are the portion, these two are the olive leaves which indicate the UNO, and here it is a globe that is all over world. Here a mother is this image represent a mother and a child in a globe, and olive branches are there, which as well as the world word mark. So this totally are saying that it is one kind of the depiction of a mother and child, emphasize the noble mission UNICEF undertakes. That means this logo are somehow are giving a message about the relationship with the mother and child and the protection of a motherhood and always also a children. So this is a logo where we have get a security about the children and the mother. So let's see the little bit introduction about the UNICEF. So first we have to know that what UNICEF stands for. So UNICEF is stand for the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund. So it's all about the child. Previously the UNICEF logo was based on the child who is drinking a cup of milk. So there they are talking about the children's food and nutrition, but afterwards it was changed, and here right now we have seen that in UNESCO the logo was representing a mother and a children along with a globe and a olive branches. So basically it stands for the United Nations International Emergencies Children's Emergencies Fund, and it was established in 1946. It was established with the help of the United Nations General Assembly. The General Assembly, which you all know about, which is one of the most important principal organ in UNO, it was established this agency, that is UNICEF. And its headquarter we find in New York, which is situated in United States. And it has been working successfully in almost all 193 countries of the world. See, in the previous two agencies, they may not be, all the members of the UNO is not a member of that ILO and the UNICEF. But here UNICEF is working upon 193 countries because it was made by the General Assembly, and you know that in the General Assembly all 193 countries which was included in under the UNO. So basically the UNICEF are working successfully in almost all the nations who are the members of the UN. Now we have to know about the objectives. It help in developing world of the children all across the world. So from the name of the UNICEF, from the full form of the UNICEF and the logo, I hope you all get an idea that it's all about talk about the children. So basically for that reason its main objective is to develop the work of children all across the world. It wanted to developing the children's development throughout the world. Its main task was to collect emergency fund for the children. It tried to collecting all the funds so that it will be given and it will be used for the development of the children. It helps and encourages the works that promote children's health and better life. UNICEF always take care about all the work and try to develop the children's work. For that reason it's collecting the fund, and as well as it always give preference and encourages only that work which given a better life to the children's and a healthy life of a children. So it never promoted any kind of work which is harmful for the children or which is destroy the future of the children. So we ended our this part, that is part 1, where I explained you about the 3 special agencies which is updated, included in your syllabus in 2020-21, that is ILO, that is International Labour Organization. Next one is UNESCO, and third one is UNICEF. These 3 agencies which is included in your syllabus this year, and rest of the agencies which we are talking and explain in our next video, that is which be included in your textbook, which is in your textbook you will get that all special agencies in a box, where you have to know about the World Bank. You have to know about the International Atomic Energy. You have to know about the World Trade Organization, Amnesty International, and the Human Rights Watch. So these few things you have to know, which we have to know in our next video. Till that, I hope you will understand this new topic which was included in your syllabus, and only this up to this, that is the organizations, you have to know about the keep in mind for the examination. You have to only keep in mind that when it was established, where it was established, and the objectives. This only you have to understand and make clear and keep it in your mind for your board examination, because here maybe for 1 marks, 2 marks, or the 4 marks question will become, because CBSE will give only little bit introduction about you, and you don't need to know about the more specifications about this organization. So for that reason, go through with your extra material which is provided by the CBSE, and along with that video, so that you will be understand it more clearly. Then I will be the next part we will be explain in our next video. Till that, thank you so much for watching this video.